I'm Camille Abbe. In this series, I'm going to explore the vibrant culture of the Tuscan countryside. Together, we'll visit some of the artisans, chefs, and farm holiday inns the Italians call agriturismo that all contribute to making Tuscany such an enchanting region. In today's episode, I'll continue exploring the small villages and farms of Chianti. In the southern Chianti village of Lecce, I found the ceramic workshop of Lise Robertson. Originally from the Netherlands, she worked for years under a local master before setting out on her own.
Because ceramic is like a word for a group of different techniques, and this is one special kind, which is called maiolica.
The word maiolica comes from the Mediterranean island of Majorca, which exported this type of brightly painted ceramics to Italy as early as the 13th century. Traditional styles of maiolica are popular throughout Tuscany. Lise learned these styles as an apprentice, but when she opened her studio, she incorporated her own ideas about color and design into her work. The resulting pieces are essentially Tuscan, but they also demonstrate a fresh vision for this traditional art form. The Tuscan butcher shop, however, is a place where tradition is unwavering and on full display. The butcher is an artisan who faithfully reproduces the local varieties of salumi, prosciutti, coppa, guanciale, and more. The abundance and variety is overwhelming, but it can be deceiving because they all share the same source, the pig. And in Tuscany, the king of the pigs is the Chianti. Once nearly extinct, this native Tuscan breed has been revived by a dedicated group of breeders. These divine swine are individually registered and given certificates of authenticity. In San Casciano Valdepesa, Chianti breeders Carlo and Mattia share a little about what makes these pigs so special.
This pig is maybe the oldest pigs that we know. Already the Etruscan and the Roman had these pigs. 70% of what they eat they find from himself in the forest. And this is very important because if an animal eats good things, the fat of the animals is very good.
Usually they prefer acorn in this period, in October when they fall down, or chestnuts later in end of October, and they are the best animals to find truffles. If the pigs killed in spring that ate a lot of grass or the roots of the trees, or if the pigs killed in autumn, and you can feel the difference of tasting in the meat. It's very interesting.
If an animal, as I told before, eat a good product, the fat is good. If the animal eat a bad product, the fat is no good. This is the reason why today a lot of people say don't eat the fat because the fat is no good. No, on the contrary, the fat is good, is better sometimes of the meat.
So you can treat the meat of Chianti like beef. You have to cook it really few minutes. Not like the normal pigs that you have to cook, it has to be white. It has to be with blood inside, like the T-bone steak of beef. And it's really good.
No one who has tasted the Chianti would argue with that. And the easiest way to get that opportunity is to visit the local restaurants that proudly serve the prized pork. Just down the road in Castellina in Chianti, I found the Ristorante Albergaccio, an innovative place that honors the best of Tuscan cuisine while exploring a very personal culinary vision. Owners Francesco Cacciatori and Sonia Visman explain.
Affonda le radici nella tradizione, però elabora piatti che non sono tradizionali nel senso stretto del termine. L'importante per noi è sentire, avvertire la Toscana nel piatto.
Sonia is the chef, and she's going to demonstrate how she makes a couple of her creations.
Qui da noi sono degli gnocchetti di ceci con un ragù di pomodori ciliegini, guancia, rosmarino e scalogno. Qua I ceci, poi c'è ricotta, uovo, facciamo un impasto consistente.
These are similar to the more familiar potato gnocchi, but the inclusion of chickpeas makes the dish a little unusual.
Scalogni, di olio, ho tagliati questi pomodorini.
Serving the gnocchi with a simple sauce of typical Tuscan ingredients unites Sonia's vision with traditional flavors.
Adesso prepariamo dei ravioli di blu del Chianti su passata di sedano. Questo è un piatto nato di nostra fantasia, non ha radici tradizionali. Hanno incontrato molto bene, insomma. Un po' di brodo vegetale. Il risultato è questo. Il pieno viene fatto con questo blu, che è un formaggio di pecora erborinato, della ricotta e uovo. Sempre pochissimo tempo di cottura, qualche minuto.
The ravioli are tossed with fresh thyme and olive oil and placed on the pureed celery sauce. Diced red peppers dress the plate, and Sonia presents her unique dish. Leaving Castellina in Chianti, I traveled east to the low, rolling hills near the town of Castelnuovo Beredenga. Outside the town, I visited Pacina, an old estate that has been transformed into a beautiful agriturismo. Owner Giovanna Tiezzi explains a little about Pacina's history.
Le famiglie dei mezzadri. I mezzadri erano famiglie che mettevano il loro lavoro nell'azienda agricola e in cambio avevano la casa. Negli anni 50 e 60 in Italia questo sistema per fortuna è cambiato e quasi tutti i poderi della campagna del Chianti si sono trasformati in agriturismo.
This group of friends from Belgium is here for a week-long cooking class. During the day, they explore the nearby markets and specialty food shops before returning to the farmhouse to learn the recipes and techniques of the regional cuisine. At the end of the week, they will return home with a working knowledge of local cooking. Classes like this are a great way for visitors to connect more closely with Tuscan culture. Pacina is furnished with the work of local contemporary artists, which gives the interior a subtle modern touch. The agriturismo also holds yoga classes regularly and has a rare indoor swimming pool for year-round use. Leaving Chianti, I went south to Siena and then visited the estate of Spannocchia and the glass-blowing center of Colle Valdelsa. The beautifully preserved city of Siena was established under the Roman Emperor Augustus. Like Rome itself, Siena uses the image of Romulus and Remus suckling at a she-wolf as its symbol. In the Middle Ages, Siena became a powerful city-state and a rival to her northern neighbor Florence, with whom she often clashed on the battlefield. In 1348, disaster struck Siena as the Black Plague swept through the densely populated city, killing 3/4 of the population. The city never recovered from the blow, and it wasn't long before Siena was reduced to being a tributary of Florence. For modern visitors, though, the plague was a blessing, as it left Siena a city frozen in its medieval splendor. The heart of Siena is the Campo, a scallop-shaped piazza that slopes down to the Palazzo Pubblico and its skyscraping Torre di Mangia. The Campo is also the site of Siena's famous horse race, the Palio, which is held here twice every summer. Siena's Duomo rivals that of Florence, easily besting it in the sheer splendor of its marble facade and numerous statues and gold mosaics. In the early 14th century, the city fathers planned an expansion of the cathedral that would have dwarfed even St. Peter's in Rome. Only one wall was built before the plague put an end to Siena's dreams of glory. Down a quiet side street, I found a cobbler whose methods recall Siena's glorious past, a time when made to order was the only option.
I feel very lucky to live in this beautiful area of Italy, because it's still full of tradition and passion and beauty. So through the years I've been in many places to see many craftsmen, the few left, and try to understand all the technique. The shoes, all the shoes that I'm making, they're made with leather bottom. This is a Derby and this is an Oxford. Here I got another pair of Oxford, traditional design, as you can see from the line beside. It's called in English, buckle shoes, it's called monk shoes as well. Probably I want to say that in my studio, I haven't got any brochure, I can't show catalogs or things like this because I improve my shoes time by time. So I need a contact with the customers here. We talk about the shoes, we talk about the leather, we talk about style, and we try to create their own shoes. Individual product for individual person, I think how it should be. So each customer has got his own last, that I will keep it. So this customer, for example, he just come, try the shoes, and he said, well, I feel a bit in there where the small finger, so I took a pen, I make a little mark on that, I went back on the last, I put some more leather in this case, and I addend the volume of the last. So after that, I start to make the shoes. So this is the tongue, this is the toe cap. So once we stitch all this together, we're going to have something like that. So particularly in these pair of shoes, now I have to do all the holes, like what I did on this upper, because it's going to be a semi-broke derby. And now we check if it's right. Yes, it started to look quite good in the middle. So tack by tack, we close all the back. Close all the lining. Take out again all the tacks. And we put this leather in the front of the shoe. We start to close the leather on the last. Now the shoes is all molded. About to put the sole, there are so many different kind of construction. I will prepare a middle sole, like this, and first I'm going to glue this middle sole on the shoe, like this. I will start to stitch my shoe. This is the the leather sole where we're going to use for work. And with a knife I just try to get to making shape this. And I will start to check the right measure for the shoe. And so the heel will be ready now.
Alessandro's skill and dedication to this traditional craft is impressive. I left him and Sienna to visit an estate a few miles away that is working to preserve the agricultural traditions of Tuscany. Spannocchia is a grand country estate that has been organized into a nonprofit foundation dedicated to traditional, sustainable agriculture. American Managing Director Randall Stratton has lived and worked here for over 10 years.
And we have converted completely to biological or organic agriculture, as it's called in the United States, because that allows us to remain closer to traditional ways of farming. We have a very old vineyard, 70 to 80 years old, between those two sets of houses, and then in the nearer distance, a new vineyard we planted only a year and a half ago.
The heart of Spannocchia's mission is the intern program, in which young people come to the estate to work the land and learn how to farm in a sustainable way. These interns replace the lost labor of the mezzadri, or sharecroppers. Spannocchia also raises the prize Cintasanese, as well as several other endangered breeds of livestock. In keeping with its educational mission, Spannocchia has housed teams of archaeologists working in the region. Many of the items on display here are Etruscan and Roman artifacts. The 1,100-acre estate also has a number of beautiful old farmhouses to rent, allowing visitors the opportunity to experience Spannocchia's natural beauty. Colle Valdelsa sits on a ridge a few miles north of Siena and has been a center of glass and crystal production dating back to the 14th century.
Today we're visiting the Vilka Crystal Workshops, and this is a place where you can come and walk around in here, visiting hours and everything, and watch how they make crystal.
Crystal begins its life as a mixture of silica and other materials, melted together at a temperature of up to 2,400 degrees. What differentiates crystal from glass is that crystal must be comprised of at least 24% lead oxide, which results in its signature brilliance and refraction. At Vilka, they make their pieces using the delicate mouth-blown technique. Here, a craftsman is puffing softly into a hollow tube to stretch the molten crystal into a mold. Crystal hardens quickly, requiring swiftness and precision. This is the master of the shop, and I watched in amazement as he transformed a formless glob into a prancing stallion in less than 2 minutes.
It's like magic. Actually, these guys really enjoy having groups come and visit because they just walk right by you with these glowing orbs of crystal and wait for you to come near and swing them all around. It's kind of a show.
Each design requires different techniques. Most pieces are constantly rotated so that the pull of gravity doesn't deform their shape. certain parts of the piece can also be reheated and reworked. The finished pieces are sent through a heated conveyor belt, and the edges are softened and smoothed.
This is beautiful. Even the little spout. What else? Oh, these are pretty. Here he is! This is not a shape you see very often anymore. It is so elegant.
Cheers! The ancient Etruscan city of Volterra stands guard over the dry western hills of central Tuscany. Just outside the city walls are Le Balze, the eroding sandy cliffs that every year inch closer to the homes and churches above them. The famed Etruscan gate dates to the 4th century BC. This misshapen lump was once one of 3 sculpted heads that gazed down upon the city's visitors. The Etruscans who inhabited Volterra were an artistic people, and the city's museum has one of the largest collections of Etruscan art in the world. These 2,000-year-old funeral urns are carved from alabaster, a soft white stone that is a specialty of Volterra. Today, alabaster carving continues to flourish, and local mines supply dozens of workshops inside the city. Alabaster can only be used for decorative purposes, as it is a semi-porous stone and will absorb liquids. I visited the workshop of one of Volterra's only female alabaster artisans, Gloria Gianelli.
Tutto d'arte a Volterra per prima come donna, perché è sempre stata una lavorazione riservata agli uomini, scelta dagli uomini, perché le donne prima non lavoravano, perché le donne prima non facevano certo lavori di questo tipo.
Over the years, Gloria has developed her own unique style of floral and geometric patterns.
E io ho avuto questa passione, mi sono messa a fare questo lavoro, mi sono inventata praticamente un lavoro e lo faccio tuttora con soddisfazione.
The Etruscans were also designers of intricate gold jewelry, and this small workshop of Fabula Etrusca recreates their designs, using the ancient lost wax method. Shop owner Patrizia Forsali explains.
Fatto il primo modello al banco, normalmente lo facciamo, fra 2 parti di gomma, viene vulcanizzato, non lascia naturalmente l'impronta.
The mold is then filled with wax, creating copies of the original design.
Con delle magline, in questo caso, siccome sono elementi che compongono una collana, questi elementi vengono sistemati all'interno di un cilindro e in questo cilindro ci viene colato del gesso che serve a imprigionare questi elementi.
The cylinder is heated, melting the wax away, and the plaster now has empty spaces ready to be filled with gold.
Vengono assemblati al banco, montati, saldati, limati, smerigliati e si compongono con questi elementi collane, orecchini o bracciali a seconda del...
Patrizia works with skill and a deep respect for the artistic legacy of the ancient Etruscans. It is artisans like her that make Volterra one of Tuscany's most important centers for traditional crafts and culture.